It's time for another Dave Day with Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker Sports Editor. Thank you for coming back in, Dave. We've been busy recently. We've already recorded 2 podcasts. It's called Good Sports with Dave and Ken. You can find them at standardspeaker.com and ssptv.com. Coming soon. I'm bringing this up, though, Dave, because the most recent one, we were at the track, the Hazelton Area High School track, and we talked with a bunch of coaches. We talked with a lot of coaches in episodes 1 and 2, and really got to pick their brains about what makes them good coaches, their coaching philosophies. What have you taken away from it? I've taken away that there are all different personalities in this, but they all care a lot. And I was really interested when we talked with Mark Otterbein from the Hazelton Area girls track team. He just kept talking about organization, how he didn't really have a background in the sport maybe, but he came into it as a teacher and he was very organized and he's had a lot of success. Anything that stuck out to you?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of these coaches are teachers for a reason too, because teachers, they say, are always learning. They're never at a loss for learning. Coach Otterbein, like he told us, he went into the profession. He was asked to coach because his children were involved in the sport, and he got involved, and he's made a very good coach over the years because he was willing to learn. Same thing with his predecessor, Fred Barletta. Lou Gunderman, the boys coach, has been around the track and field program for as long as anybody around here. He had the experience in it too, so you get a little bit of the experience, and you get the people that are learning, and it makes for a good program. And then you bring on good assistants who are dedicated. I think dedication goes a long way to helping coaches perfect their craft, and you got to have a lot of good athletes as well. I mean, a lot of good athletes that are willing to learn and themselves and listen, and it's a short season, so they don't have much time to teach. But when they're there, they pay attention, and that's why we've had a lot of success on the track program here.
Well, we did have a number of track and field athletes qualify for the state championships. We're going to list the gold medal winners. We'll talk about a few of them. Mentioned in that podcast a lot, freshman Abby Hengst, she javelin thrower for Hazelton Area, won a gold best throw. Steve Stallone's article with her I thought was phenomenal, just with the quotes and everything. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, she's mature beyond her years. There's no doubt about it. She had a successful season, and then she kept getting better and better. And that's a sign of a good athlete. Again, go back to the word learn. She's willing to learn, put the time in, the dedication that it takes to, perfect your craft. And when she was at the district meet, her throws kept getting better and better. She wasn't satisfied with one throw, and she made a statement there, I think, that, hey, you come there, you're ready to play, bring your A game to the district championship, you're going to walk away with a gold medal. And she's only a freshman, and her better days are still ahead of her, no doubt about it.
I hear them when we talk to these athletes. They say they do get a little nervous sometimes before they go out there, but I'm talking about Corey McCormick right now from North Schuylkill, who won the 1,600 and 3,200 meter runs at the District 11 AA Championship. She's going to be the Standard Speaker Athlete of the Week, so you can read all about her in the Standard Speaker.
But when she's on the track, she's dynamite, and she had a very successful season. Both in cross country, now on the track too. And Steve will mention a little bit about that as the week goes on too. The difference, you would think once you're good in one sport like cross country, it should translate into success on the track. Sometimes that's not always the case, but in Corey's case, it's definitely been the case, and she's somebody to look out for when you go to the States this weekend.
Emily DeMollis from Shenandoah Valley wins the 200. I think we might have mentioned in the past, Steve Stallone did an article on her and Emily Zoshin from Weatherly area being rivals, and they met again at the District 11 championships, and the article in the Standard Speaker kind of picked up on Steve Stallone's story.
Yeah, Steve did a fantastic job, looking just beyond the competitive streaks in both athletes too. They vied against one another in different sports, volleyball, basketball, and on track, and Emily Zoshin had the better of her for a good portion of their career, and then Emily DeMollis comes up with a big 200 run at districts and wins a district championship and gets to go to state championship. I think the best thing about that was Emily Zoshin's reaction afterward. She, no complaining or moaning afterward. She congratulated Emily DeMollis. They gave a hug, and she said how happy she was too. And again, why do we cover sports instances like that when you see a lot of outstanding sportsmanship?
Dave, you told me once or twice how sometimes maybe losing a game, even if you're undefeated heading into playoffs, might not be the worst thing in the world. Hazelton Area softball team, they lose in middle of the week game, I think, to Berwick. Maybe a lot of people didn't see this coming. Bounced back, ended up winning division championship and then a non-league game, but one loss under their belt heading in the playoffs, so it's still looking strong.
Yeah, they got knocked down a peg, really, and I think it put everything in perspective for them. It's like, they didn't lose the championship because of that game, and they they did have another. You want to see how they bounce back. That's the biggest question. Going into the game at Pittston area after the loss at Berwick, Pittston area an outstanding team. Coach up there does a fantastic job with their program. A lot of players have played a few years now too, so they know the Hazelton area team. And Lady Cougars went up there and they put on a hitting display, 15 hits. Everybody in the lineup had at least one hit. They're hitting for extra bases, hitting for power. They're running the bases well. The fielding was a little shaky, so that's something they could work on. And you don't want to be perfect at this point in the season. You want to keep building toward that perfection. And I think the Lady Cougars, once they get in the playoffs, they'll be ready for that.
For more details on what we talked about today and that Corey McCormick Athlete of the Week feature, make sure you're reading the Standard Speaker. Dave, thank you for your time.